You won't hear it in this video, but the most common word spoken by the guides on Mount Kilimanjaro is pole pole, Swahili for slowly, slowly. Walk as slowly as possible on Kilimanjaro. Can't imagine doing this climb with all that weight. 20 kilos is the maximum that they're allowed to carry. Jumbo!
It's 8:30 at night and we're being woken up at 6:30 again for a 7:10 breakfast and then 8 o'clock start. So that's it.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Our first glimpse of Kilimanjaro. We are going to climb that mountain next Saturday. Woo! Kilimanjaro, here we come. Look at that. Woo! Barbara here again from Travels with Lobo and Barbara. Join me and my friend Cornelia on day 3 as we continue our planned 7-day trek to Uhuru Peak on Mount Kilimanjaro. By the way, Mount Kilimanjaro, the dormant volcano in Tanzania, has 3 volcano cones: Kibo, Mawenzi, and Shira. We are on a planned ascent of Kibo's Uhuru Peak at 19,340 feet. After a restful night at Shira Camp, that's Shira2 Camp, at least restful for Cornelia, she always slept better than I did, and an early 7:10 breakfast, we started hiking to today's destination. And that is Barranco Camp. But today was different, and I'll explain with a few statistics. Day 3, January 12th, time to leave camp. Not sunny, but some of the peaks are showing. A little less fog this morning. People are breaking camp. We're about to head out for day 3. We had delicious breakfast as always. They really feed us well. And there is Mount Kilimanjaro, the summit. Just a little bit of cloud over the top. There's our dining room tent where we eat all our meals. And we're heading out. How are you today?
Fine.
We're both 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, exactly.
Yes.
Everything's fine. Blood
Medically.
pressure,
Yeah.
oxygen level.
Yeah.
So,
Ready to go.
ready to go.
There's the elusive peak. Mount Kilimanjaro. We can see it this morning a little bit. And all our dedicated porters working hard. Can't imagine doing this climb with all that weight. 20 kilos is the maximum that they're allowed to carry. Jumbo! No, our cook and assistant guide, Faustine and Justo. And then we see Mount Meru, peeking above the clouds. Our trek was 10.75 kilometers from the Shira2 Camp to Barranco Camp via the renowned Lava Tower. So this is the route we followed, down to there. Our altitude gained was 750 meters from Shira2 Camp to the Lava Tower, and then we lost 660 meters in our descent from the Lava Tower to Barranco Camp. What's that all about? Is that any way to get to the top of a mountain? Apparently yes. This is part of a well-known trekking or climbing process known as acclimatization, summarized by the mountaineer's old maxim, climbing high, sleeping low, and thereby hopefully avoiding altitude sickness.
And that's Shira Cathedral in the sun. The sun is just peeking through, hitting it. Shira Cathedral. What a beautiful scene.
And there's some, yeah, that's the same plant. Oh, look at this. Okay, that's the same plant. You see down there?
Oh yes. Oh, the small ones. Lobelia plant with a beautiful waterfall in the background. And those small ones are the same plant.
Our destination up ahead.
Up there.
Yeah.
And then beyond, we can still see Kilimanjaro Peak, Uhuru.
The biggest obstacle to getting to the top of Kilimanjaro is not lack of physical conditioning, but altitude sickness, a debilitating condition that can lead to immobility and even death. It's important to be aware of this and to get off the mountain if the condition gets severe enough.
And we were just in shirts. We stripped 2 layers off because it was just too hot. That's where we're headed. See some people up ahead. There they are. That's where we're headed now. Just had a little break. Stopped for an apple. It's getting windy. We'll put our jackets back on again. Hi Andrew.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's fine. Very fine. And you?
Good, thanks.
Are you enjoying?
Very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for making this possible.
Karibu.
Giving us good support.
You're welcome.
You have a Canadian scarf.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. There's scarf and flag.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they gave us the flags the first day. They got wet yesterday. Or no, the first day. But we still have them. And around behind me, there's Justo. How you doing, Justo?
Good.
Thank you for your support too.
You're welcome. Karibu.
Whoops. And there's Cornelia clambering over the rocks. Can we see the next group? Yes.
Yes, up
There they are. Yeah, we're going to follow that group. Oh, there he goes again.
You won't hear it in this video, but the most common word spoken by the guides on Mount Kilimanjaro is pole pole, Swahili for slowly, slowly. Walk as slowly as possible on Kilimanjaro. Go pole pole if you don't want to feel poorly, poorly. By the way, you can see it in the videos. We are going slowly in motion and in speech. The slowly not only applies to the day's trek speed, but also to the number of days it takes to get to the top of Kilimanjaro.
So we've just arrived in view of the lava tower. It's like a moonscape around here. Pretty barren, although there is lichen and things like that growing. There's some grass growing actually on the rocks. But it's pretty desolate. Moonscape-like. Cornelia is taking advantage of her break time. Cat nap.
So it's best to choose a slow route like the 7-day Machami route that we're on, also known as the whiskey route because it's tougher than the Marangu route, also known as the Coca-Cola route. A 7-day trek is preferable to shorter treks because it allows the body more time to acclimatize, thereby increasing the chances of making it to the top of Uhuru Peak. The downside is that a 7-day trek is more expensive than a 5 or 6-day trek, but the chances of success are greater, so it's a no-brainer. The golden standard for any altitude greater than 2,500 meters is to sleep no more than 300 meters higher than your previous night's camp and to spend an extra night at every third camp. That would make the journey much too long and expensive. Forget it.
It's lunchtime. It's misty here. We're behind the lava tower. There's a couple of ravens there preening each other. Other groups of people have stopped here. It's a popular place. Rocks where you can put down your things and you can sit. And there's my lunchbox, which Justo carried for me this morning. He was very kind. Another raven over there. They hang out looking for scraps. And right here, lava tower, way up there. Sort of shrouded in the mist now. We were lucky that we saw it before the mist came in. Another raven waiting to swoop in and get some snacks. It looks like some people are actually camping here. There's a few tents set up. Yeah, it's really misty all of a sudden.
Altitude sickness has 3 forms. AMS, acute mountain sickness, which is characterized by severe headaches, nausea, and fatigue. More severe and potentially deadly forms are HAPE, which is high altitude pulmonary edema, and that's excess fluid on the lungs, or HACE, high altitude cerebral edema, and that's when you get fluid on the brain. As I said, both are potentially deadly. Remember, it's best to talk about these acronyms when you are not on the mountain because later it may be too late. You have to be aware. Each year, about 10 trekkers don't make it back alive from their attempted treks of Kilimanjaro due to severe altitude sickness and accidents. Every year, about 1,000 trekkers are carried back on stretchers, but many more simply have to turn around and descend as quickly as possible. For example, we saw one woman in a group from Quebec turn back before the end of the first day. And unfortunately, there's no refunds when you don't complete the climb. On the optimistic side, according to several leading operators, the 7-day Machami route has an average summit success rate of 85%, while the 6-day option has a 73% success rate. On the other hand, the national park figures put the success rate for all 7-day routes at 64%. So who knows? In any case, success is not guaranteed, but the balance of probabilities are in your favor with a 7-day climb. Personally, I had total confidence in our guides and porters provided by Bryson Heroes Tours. After all, they had climbed this mountain almost 100 times or more, some of them. Andrew, our head guide, monitored our vital statistics twice a day for signs of altitude sickness, so we were well taken care of in that respect. I trusted they would know what to do if Cornelia or I got very ill due to high altitude. My main concern, on the other hand, was more about mishaps such as twisted ankle or worse, that would have put a quick end to the climb. Another concern was that I didn't want to let Cornelia down. I wanted to get to the top with her. However, we did make a pact long before the trip. If one of us could not make it for any reason, the other one would not give up. Fortunately, up to this point, end of day 3, no one was letting anyone down. So on to day 4 tomorrow. And let's not forget, pole, pole, pole. As we continue slowly, slowly, slowly. See you next Friday for day 4. Thanks for viewing, subscribing, and a thumbs up.
Here we are. It's our third night. It's freezing cold out. It was a long day. We're trying to settle into bed.
Outside is a glacier.
A little tiny crescent of a moon, which is beautiful, and the stars.
Lots of stars.
Gorgeous.
And
And that's Cornelia in her sleeping bag.
yes,
And
gear on this
her side of the tent, her stuff on that side. All right, now I'm gonna pass the camera.
And here we have Barbara in her sleeping bag, dangling above her is her hat that she wore today, which we hope will dry, along with some gloves.
Yeah.
Let me see. Can we get those gloves too? Okay. And there's other things dangling from the ceiling.
My bandana.
Yeah.
This shirt I think is dry now, so that's good.
Okay.
And
And
then
then
my
this
stuff
is
in the back.
all of Barbara's stuff over there. Her bag. Her backpack. Yeah. And here we have Barbara again. Settling down for a good...
I put my liner in this time.
We were told to dress very warmly because it's going to be cold. And there's our front door. And
There's a vestibule beyond that,
a vestibule behind her.
which
yeah.
is dripping wet.
So, and our boots and everything is kept outdoors. And
Hiking post.
with that, we will sign off. It's 8:30 at night, and
Yeah.
we're being woken up at 6:30 again
6:30.
for a 7:10 breakfast, and then 8 o'clock start. So, that's it.
Good night.
Good night.